Hello everyone, today we're going to talk about a program I wrote called a Nanogram. Now many of you might not know how this works, so I'll explain it to you briefly how the indicators work. So we can see as I begin to fill in squares that the numbers on the sides of the board update. These numbers are what I refer to as indicators. We can see here right now it is a 4. If I'm to add another one, it'll become a 5. If there was a white space in between the black squares, such as this, it'll become a 4-1 rather than the 5 I showed you earlier. And it doesn't matter how big that gap is. For example, out here, it's still 4-1. And if I'm going to put another 1 in between, we can see the 1 shows up. It'll become 4-2-1. We can see the columns are also updating. We can see all of these 1s. If I'm going to put another 1, it'll become 2, 2-1, 2-1-1, 2-1-1-1. You can go back up. It'll change to a 3 because we can see we have 2, 3, 1. Anyways, I hope that makes sense. I will show you why that exists here in a moment as we solve a puzzle. So I could randomly generate a puzzle of 3 different sizes. We have 5 by 5, 13 by 13, and 20 by 20. Now the 20 by 20 is the largest board and the most difficult. If you were to solve this, it will take you some time. For demonstration purposes, I think we'll stick to a medium-sized board. And what we're presented with is a partially filled board, but we can see that the indicators aren't completely satisfied. It is our job to select the squares which will satisfy the board. So we can see immediately that row L is in fact satisfied, the 1, 2, 1, and this is emphasized by this green L here. It indicates that this row is in fact complete. Another one that we can fill in is we can say we know the 2 must be here, which also satisfies our column B. It is important that we don't just start guessing. For example, if I click on this one thinking, oh, maybe this is the first one, then there's a good chance when you get near the end of the board that you're going to be stuck. That means we have to make sure that we only fill in a square if we know that it must be filled in. So I'll click on the Get Hint button for now. Look in column F. So if I look in column F, we can see that it's 2, 3. That means there's only one possible way I can fill in this column, which is by selecting this square. We can see this updates to green. So how the Get Hint button works is it finds the row or column with the least amount of possible solutions, and it will tell us to look there. Another cool feature we have is if we click on the letter on the side of the board, it will show us all the different possible solutions for that row or column. So for this one, we can see all the ways we can place them. So this can actually help us out. For example, we can see that this one is always going to be filled in, as well as this one, which I believe is already black, so it doesn't help us. But we'll know that this one must be filled in, and the other one can be on this side. This can be either on this side. And we can see a few more. Here, this one, there's only 2 possible solutions. Here we can see all the different 165 for this one. It's going to show us all the different ways we can color these cells black to satisfy the indicator for that row. I'm not going to continue solving the puzzle as it will take some time, but instead I'll show you another feature that I have. How I was showing you the indicators earlier was by creating a board, or by starting to. We can see that we can create our own puzzles, and this way we can create puzzles for our friends to solve, or they can create them for us. This will be the solution to the puzzle. If I go to the next step, this is where I can begin to hide the squares. So if I turn these squares light gray, these will be hidden from my user. So I can save this, and let's call it happy, because it's a little happy face. Puzzle saved successfully. Now, instead of solving one of my randomly generated puzzles, I can go to solve save puzzles. So if I open this now, we can see that our puzzle is in fact here. So if I complete it, there we go, we have a solved puzzle. I click on verified. Congratulations, you solved the puzzle.